Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Thank you all for being here today. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Oh, guys, it's been a hell of a day. I'm here. I know it's not the time that I'm normally here, but I am here today. I'm exhausted. So I got everything done on my list. I went to the gym today and now I'm in a lot of pain right now, drinking tea and just trying to relax. Just glad it's the weekend. Happy Friday to you all. I don't know how your week has been, but mine has been, oh my goodness. The tea helps a lot. I drink at nighttime chamomile because it helps a lot, and the chamomile helps to calm me down some. And it's like right now, I'm gonna probably take a pain pill or something if this feeling doesn't go away. I got some of that stuff called Theraflex. Yeah, it's supposed to be for muscles. When you're going to the gym and working out, and it helps your muscles. But anyway, guys, how was your week? How was your day? Thank you all for showing up and being here. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I see more and more of you are watching and sharing the videos. And I'm also getting some comments and some emails. So thank you for that, guys. I'm really trying to help people, and it helps me as well, because it's hard. Today, I'm going to talk about something a little different. What I'm going to talk about, because I've been talking about, ways to heal the grief, etc., and I'm connecting the dots by going into other topics that of toxicity, and all these things are related because it affects our physical and mental health. So anything that affects our mental and physical health, we have to talk about it so that we can find ways to heal it. I'm not a therapist or a certified social worker. I don't have certification or degrees in that area. However, I'm someone who's been through hell when it comes to loss, death, and a lot of things. And I had to find effective ways to get through them. Now, guys, when we're talking about loss, of a loved one, um, it's we can get through it. We never get over it because the void that we feel is always with us. We never get over it, but we can get through it. And what I do on this channel is talk to everyone about some ways, some effective ways that I got through this. And the first place that I started was therapy, and it was difficult, but um, I still do therapy today. As a matter of fact, I talked to my therapist earlier today, and it helps me a lot. He has helped me with a lot of things because it's an outlet for the pain. So, and I continue to do so because it pushes me forward to help myself. So, guys, with that being said, welcome to the channel. This is a no judgment zone. We're here to uplift and not to tear down. So, keep that in mind. The topic of discussion today is keeping the spirit of your passed over loved ones alive. That is something that I am determined to do because, excuse me, guys, I'm trying to fix this laptop. Okay, there we go. Um, when our loved ones pass over, I know we're coming up on an anniversary of my mother's passing, which is April 15th on Monday. And she passed away April 15th on 2020. And I just been having a hard time with it because, I had some good times with my mom. There was some rough times, mother-daughter relationship. But for the most part, I miss my mother a lot. And just the loss of it is what is hard to get over. Not being able to pick up the phone to call her and say, "Ma, how you doing?" and etc. First I lost my father, and he died like 2 years before I had my son. And then my mom, died in 2020. And it's just been, you know, very difficult to deal with because, in the beginning when it first happened, I was forgetting and I would just pick up the phone to call, and then I would remember, oh, she's not here. And I'm like, and the trigger moments of grief, which I didn't understand. I didn't know how to deal with that. And I never felt something like that. For a while I felt so bipolar with that because I can be outside, and it was shortly after they lifted up the restrictions for the shutdown. And I had had a tree, paid for a tree to be planted by my mother's gravesite. And I went into this store, and on a wall was this picture hanging, and it looked just like the tree that I had planted at my mother's gravesite. And I had to leave the store, everything in the cart, running out, going to the car, crying hysterically, then coming home, being balled up in a fetal position because of the pain. And just losing parents is so difficult, losing anyone, but this is just, it's just so hard. And I always weekly look forward to those weekly conversations with my mother, especially on Sunday. And Sunday is so hard. And I know Monday I'm just trying to find ways to get through this, and um, I would just cry so much all the time that I didn't even think I could cry anymore, to the point where I just felt numb. And what was hard, people, is that we couldn't have a funeral for her. We had to have an online memorial service because I couldn't leave the state to go to New York, because that's where I'm from, even though I live in Massachusetts, because of the shutdown, the COVID, and everything. And so, um, she was already buried, and we had a service, a memorial service, but it's not the same thing. And I talk a lot about her to keep her memory alive. And I want to suggest that for those who are listening to this video. And if you lost anyone in your life that meant so much to you, always keep their spirit alive by talking about them through storytelling. Talk about what they brought to your life to enhance it, to help you to get through some difficult times. Talk about those things. As my mother got older, she mellowed out. I used to come to her and talk to her, over the phone a lot about some issues I was having with my own child. And she was very mellow compared to like when I was growing up, and not just that, just some other things that I would talk to her about. And I would feel better after talking to her. And I don't have that anymore. And like during the shutdown, 10 people died. It was um, so difficult because these were people who were part of my life. And it just, if you have anyone, whether it's a spouse, your parents, God forbid, your children, your pet, anyone, best friend, sibling, anyone that meant so much to you, just ask God to help you get through it. Because at first, guys, I was mad at God for a long time. I couldn't pray. Well, the prayers I was saying wasn't really prayers, it was just angry. Why'd you take my mother? Why'd you let this happen? You're supposed to save her and have her here. And it's just, I did that for almost a year. And then I just one day had to come to understand that God, lessons. I talk a lot about learning lessons. My mom was trying to tell me certain things, but I don't know. It seems like my entire life changed, when she passed away. I was forced to sit down and look at my life, and not that I was bad or anything like that, but I wasn't taking care of myself the way I needed to. I was too busy being subservient to other people, and being involved with what their needs were, that I was neglecting my own life and my own self. And that's why I talk a lot about self-love and healing, and when you start this journey to heal grief, You never get over it, because you're always going to have that void because of the loss, but you can get through it, you know. And one of the things my therapist would tell me in the beginning when I was grieving so hard is that my mother would never ever want me to stay in a place of depression, sadness, grief, and not live my life because she's not here anymore. So I would say to those who are listening right now, to this video, and if you have experienced this and you're going through this, remember that your passed over loved ones would never want you to stay in a place of grief and depression, and just being depressed, and anxiety, and all of the things that you feel with the loss. They don't ever want you to stay in a place of depression. That's why I know I needed to do therapy, because therapy is one outlet for the pain. And music is a healing source too. That helps a lot. And I listen to a lot of music, and I still do. And I'm probably going to be listening to a lot of music from now until sometime next week, because just knowing that the 15th is right around the corner is hard. It's very difficult. And no matter how I try to keep myself busy, I have to take time out to reflect, and just reflect on my mom not being here and the loss of it. Certain things we used to do together, that everything's different. And even when my grandparents were here, like, they were, my grandmother and grandfather in particular, they were the matriarchs of the family, and a foundation change of the family. Everything changed when they passed away. And it just is, nothing is the same anymore. um one of the things I can say to you guys is that this is going to sound weird, but I know my mother's spirit is around me. And today, earlier, I was in the supermarket, because I was off earlier from work, but I just had all these errands to run. And I was in a supermarket earlier. And you know how they have the shopping carts all together, squished up, and you have to pull them apart? After I paid for my groceries and I was leaving, there was nobody around us. This is weird. The shopping cart popped out of the other one and just rolled out, and it was in there. How they have them stacked in there together, and it just popped out. And I'm looking around, looking. There's nobody there, and I'm saying, I wonder if this is my mother sending me a signal that she's here. I'm here, because when she passed away, and there's some the lights went off in the house for a minute. That happened when my dad died too. Every When I went back to the apartment where he was living, all the lights went off in the whole building. The power went down for about 5-10 minutes. We were Me and my sister, one of my sisters, went to the circuit breaker, and everything was off for about at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then everything just all of a sudden came back on. There was no storm going on, nothing. And it's something similar happened to that when my mom died. But what happened, because um, a cardinal landed like on the porch of the house where I was living at the time, and it just stayed there, and I was staring at it like, oh no. And then it just flew away. Just little stuff that lets you would to me lets me know that they're letting me know that they are still around me, even though that they're not here in the flesh. So I swear by that. It's weird, because one of my aunts died on my father's side, and I used to talk to her like 3-4 times a week. And she died like maybe, I don't know, 6 years after my dad or so. Anyway, we used to talk, and she didn't tell me she was ill. Then I found out that she was very sick with cancer, and she was in hospice. And she said, I didn't want to tell you because I know how I get, but I needed to know. And she told me, I'm always going to be around you, even though I'm not going to be here in the flesh. And shortly after she passed away, this black cat was outside. I mean, it looked rough. It was all its hair was all rough, like the on its back, and it looked like it traveled somewhere to get there. And this was a stray cat, and usually they are afraid of you, and it sat there and it was watching me, and I started talking to it. It was weird, and it sat there for a while. I'm like, where did you come from? And it stayed with me for a while, and then one day it just disappeared. So things like that makes me know that this spirit is still around. you know um but I'm just finding ways to take care of myself. As I get on this journey to heal, I have my up and down days, and with the down days, I just try to take care of myself. Like today, I didn't want to go to the gym. My goal is a few times a week, but I knew it was important because I have made a goal to really take care of myself and a vow as well. You know, it's important that we take care of physical and mental health, and there should be no shame in it. It's so important. Otherwise, because if we can't take care of our physical and mental health, we can't give anything to ourselves or to anyone else. And it's important that we take time out to rest and have me time. If you go back a few videos, you'll see that I talked a lot about that. It's so important, one day at a time. And if you have a support system of people that you can talk to, that's great. Use that. But I didn't have that, so therapy is my outlet. And prayer to God, I stay very close to God now, and I'm in prayer a lot. And I'm just glad that things in my life have changed for the better, as I took God as my partner, and I'm not in that angry state of mind as I was when my mom first passed away. But it's still difficult, guys. You never get over it. But I keep her memory alive through storytelling, telling others, through this channel, and even with my therapist about some of the times in my life with my mom that meant so much to me and added to my life. So keep your loved ones' memories alive. It's so important to do that, you know, and let yourself grieve, let yourself feel the pain, but don't stay in a place of pain. Find ways to get through it. Music, taking walks, if you need to spend some time alone just to get through it, do so. All these things are ways that we get through the grief. It's ways that we grieve our loved ones. So that's the message that I have today, for those who are grieving and lost, people who meant so much to you, loved ones that meant, one day at a time, one step at a time. you know. What I would say is invest in your healing. And the place where I started is therapy. you know Whatever state that you live in, Google a therapist in your area, and connect with one. That's a starting point. And it's important to do that. To just don't stay in a place of depression and grief. That's the message today, guys. I have to go take a pain pill because I am in pain after working out today. And it's been a long day. Usually I'm not, but because I think I overdid some things today. And I really need to go eat something. Um, I hate to say this, but I haven't eaten since this morning because that's how busy my day has been. But I can't let that happen again. My doctor was on my case about certain things, so I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better with my time management, and my sinuses. I'm having a sinus thing, and as I'm talking to you guys, I see on my screen something about pollen tomorrow, and it doesn't agree with my sinuses. So anyway, guys, I hope these messages are helping you. I can never promise what time I'm going to be on, but I can tell you I'm here Monday through Friday. So please subscribe to the channel and you will get a notification as to when I'm on live. And share these videos with others, like the channel, comment. I would love to hear from you guys and hear your opinions. Thank you for being here. This is Lisa, always shedding love and light. And you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday. Thank you, guys.